1967 Ferrari 330 P4 race car in VR. Hello everybody and welcome to OpenFed Gaming. I am the OpenFed. Today we're driving a 1967 Ferrari 330 P4 in a Ferrari Circuit Challenge. We're driving at the Yas Marina Circuit, which is quickly becoming one of my favorites. We're doing 5 laps. We start at 16th of 16 cars and we started with a rolling start. Now, we don't need to go in and get fuel today because it's only a 5-lapper, but it's always a good idea when you're driving any of these tracks, especially this one, because there are 10-lap and I think maybe even longer ones available for this track. It's always a good idea to know where the pit entrance and the pit exit is, just in case for the next time when you're going to drive this track. So we will mention that one when we come up to it. Now we are in a Ferrari Circuit Challenge and we just recently acquired this particular older Ferrari. We got it from the, I believe it's the Heritage Museum it's called. I'm not quite sure. Anyhow, it cost $20 million, so I figured we'd like to take it out on the track and drive it and see how it performs. Now it handles absolutely awesome. It looks stunning on the inside. Really a lot of fun to drive in VR. It really handles the track well, got lots of power, and it seems to respond to the track as well as any other car. And it's got more power than some of these other Ferraris on the track. Now as we're coming around the corner here, we are almost at the end of the first lap. Now as we're coming around the corner, underneath this overhang, I always keep that as a point of reference. I know that the lap is almost about the end when we go underneath that. Now the entrance is on the right hand side, as you'll be able to see in a second here, where there's a little white line on the road too. There, right over here, there's a separate lane going in. Now as you go into the pits, you go underneath the track when you're leaving and you come out on the left hand side, which is a little different. It's always nice to know where you come out though, to know if you got a corner coming up right away or if you got a little bit of a straight section. Anyhow, you come out right over here on the left. So, you know, it's a sweeping curve to the right as you're coming out, so you can give it a little bit of juice when you're coming out and attack the track at the same time. Now, the OpenFed usually forgets how many cars he's passed, especially when he's driving a car like this Ferrari, but we will see that when we get closer to the end. We do keep track of the laps that we drive, however. We are in our second lap, and we're quickly coming up to about halfway point of that one. It's not going to take long. Beautiful track to drive, beautiful weather today. It's a nice sunny morning. And it's just an awesome race as we're moving up slowly here, one car at a time. Now some of these guys are pretty zippy and they're pretty difficult to catch up to, let alone pass. And with this track, there's a few places that are really nice for passing. Fairly straight, like this section coming up here, but you got to be right behind the car to be able to pass them, because by the time you do get by him, you're going to have a tight turn at the end. You got to be able to slow down in time. You don't want to overshoot the corner. Now a lot of these corners where it's difficult to pass, I just follow the car in front of me. There's really no need to drive chaotic. You got 5 laps. We don't need to try and get to the front of the pack in the first lap the way the OpenFed used to drive. Now as we're coming around the corner here, we're going to be finishing our second lap, and I assume we've passed a few cars, and I've seen, I don't know how many, but if we can pass an average of about 3 cars per lap, you know, if we can hold that pace, then that should help. But as you know, the easy cars to pass are usually at the back of the pack, and the rest of them, they're a little bit faster, take off on you. So when you do get by a car and you get to the straight section, you do gotta go a little quicker. So we gotta hammer down and catch up to whoever is still left in front of us, because I know we're not at the front of the pack yet. And we would like to win this race. Now, I've driven this track quite a few times already, since it's come out in the Spec 3 update, I believe it was. and it is just a beautiful track to drive. If you drive it a few times and you start to know where the spots are that you got to slow down, you can really keep your car going in a nice, smooth, even pace. And I'm getting better at this corner too. I used to overshoot it every time I come around it, no matter how many times I remind myself. But I'm getting better at that. Now, this is one of the straight sections that I like to hammer down, and then you don't have to worry about turning or slowing down or anything like that. Just catch up to the next guy. That's all you want to do. Now we're in our third lap, and as we caught up to this guy, we've got 2 guys in our sight. Well, 3, maybe 4 guys in our sight. So we know we're 5th at best, but I think might even be a little bit further down than that. That's okay. We got 2.5 laps. We're about halfway through the third lap, so we got 2.5 laps to go. And every once in a while you try and power around him a little bit, but this guy is a little bit too quick. I tried to go around on the outside and he just zips away on me. So we're just gonna push him a little and irritate him and see what he does, and then when we get a little bit bigger stretch, that's when we're gonna take him. But we're getting pretty close to these cars. They're starting to pack together, which tells me that the 2 in front there are going a little bit slower, and this yellow car and the white car in front of them are going faster. So we are still catching up to the front of the pack, even though we're not passing any cars. Now, not a lot of room there. I tried to squeeze through, but he moved over and cut me off, so I just wait till here, and we've got a little bit of room here so we can pass by a couple of them. There we go. Now we're into our 4th lap, and we're starting to get down to the nitty-gritty, and these guys here, they're going pretty good. 2 right in front of us, but also not the leading car, so we've still got a little ways to go if we want to win this race. Now right over here, there again, you come around this corner, and that's when you give it a little bit extra, and you can get another guy behind you. Now be wary of this corner. This is the one I always overshoot. And had I had enough power, well, I guess I did. Because I had enough power to power around the outside of it. Wow, this car is really, really nice to drive. Very powerful. Nice long straight stretch, and we can just hammer down, let it go, and see if there's any more in front of us. Well, we got one guy right there. So now we're into those tight little turns again, and that's just going to slow you down a little bit. And there again, I used to be, when I was driving in this section of the track, I had to get in front of that red car, but you don't really have to worry about that because you just stay with him, and he's going pretty good. So if he doesn't hold you back, stay with him, and you'll catch up to whoever's in front of him, if there's anybody left. Well, we will find out soon enough. But he gave us a little bit of room, so we powered around him. And we're coming up pretty close to the end of the 4th lap. Boy, I tell you, for 5 laps at the Yas Marina, this race is really going by quickly. Now, I saw a couple of cars there ahead of me. There we go. Now, those, I believe, might be the last 2 cars in front of us on the track. So we're going to try and catch up to them and then see if we can get by the back one anyhow, because we're about to go and start last lap, so we don't have a lot of time left. And you know, you got a few straight sections, but oh, there's 3 cars in front of us. 3 still. There's a few straight sections, but we just used up 1 there. Oh, well, now we've lapped him. He's at one of the slowest cars, slowest Ferraris, and we're driving one of the fastest. So we still only got 2 cars in front of us. I was wrong on that. That was a lapped car. Anyhow, as we're coming over here, my overshoot corner, let's see if we can power by this blue one. Now we can cut him on the inside. He took the corner a little bit wide, and I was a little bit too slow behind him. Otherwise, I could have powered around the outside, just like I did on the last one. And I didn't get that. So now we're going to use this straight to catch up to the lead car, and then hopefully we'll have an opportunity somewhere to pass him because we are about half a lap left, so not a lot of time. But you still got to slow down for the corners, and this is where I usually, before, I used to make my mistake. I used to try and go too fast and try to pass him somewhere where I shouldn't have been trying. So now we're just going to wait for the opportunity to come to us. And it's not going to take long because it'll show its head. And as we come up behind him here, we just got enough power to get around him. There you go. He slowed down just enough for us to give us a shot we needed. Anyhow, that was the last car. I believe we're in the lead, and this lap is almost over. Absolutely awesome race. If you ever have the opportunity to race at Yas Marina in any car in VR, give it a shot. Anyhow, I hope to see you back at OpenFed Gaming again real soon. Until then, you've been racing in a 1967 Ferrari at the Yas Marina Circuit with me, the OpenFed.